Hey, this is Mark at the Michigan Comic-Con. I'm here with author Timothy Zahn. Now tell me, sir, how did you get started with Lucasfilm writing the Thrawn trilogy?
Back in I guess it was 88, Lou Aronica at Bantam Spectra wrote to Lucasfilm about restarting their Star Wars adult fiction line, picking up after Return of the Jedi, which is an era nobody had been allowed to write in before. A year later or so, about a year later, Lucasfilm decided to go ahead and do this. Bantam editors made up a list of authors they thought could handle Star Wars. Lucasfilm liked my style, and I got a totally out-of-the-blue phone call in November of '89 from my agent saying, "Tim, we've got a very interesting offer here."
Did you get to work with George Lucas on this storyline?
No, I don't know if George himself had a lot to do with any of the novels. He had people to do that, the liaisons and the marketing folk. So I worked with several of the Lucasfilm people, but I'm not even sure George ever wound up reading the books. He was working on prequel stuff at the time, so he was pretty busy on his own.
So you had to be a pretty big fan to take on this work. What was it like, I mean, as you're writing this, and you're thinking, I'm actually writing Star Wars. What did that feel like?
It was just awesome. It was, exciting, exhilarating, and terrifying at the same time, because this was my chance to jumpstart my career, but it was also my chance to fall flat on my face in front of millions of Star Wars fans who would never forgive me. I know the idea that Star Wars fans could be, not like something Star Wars is foreign to everybody, but it could have happened. So there was a certain amount of fear element involved. I better get this right.
Did you listen to John Williams' score while you're writing this just to get inspiration?
Oh, I was doing that all along as I was starting my career in 1980, writing my own science fiction. The Star Wars and then later the Empire and Return of the Jedi soundtracks were in my rotation of things to listen to while I wrote. So listened to a lot of John Williams in that period.
Back in the early 90s, there was some rumors that these books were going to be converted into episodes 7, 8, and 9. Did you hear anything about that?
They were always just rumors. It was never the intention of George to do anything with these other than be novels. I never thought of them as anything more than episodes 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3. So, and the pattern George had always talked about was a generational thing, where, as the prequel showed, the young Darth Vader, young Anakin Skywalker, then we have his children, and then presumably someplace down the line we'll have family. Well, we've got Kylo Ren in the sequel trilogy. So I knew that the Thrawn trilogy, set 5 years after Return of the Jedi, was not in position to be 7, 8, and 9. But yeah, there were a lot of rumors of all sorts back then.
When Disney bought Star Wars from Lucas, was there any talk about possibly translating your books into those 7, 8, and 9?
There was certainly no talk to me. If there was any talk behind the scenes, I never heard about it. So,
did you ever think that you'd be traveling the country talking about your books with people at these cons?
Oh, I've been doing that for many years, but everything was jumped to a new level when Dave Filoni and the Star Wars Rebels team brought Thrawn onto the small screen and made him official and officially a part of Star Wars canon. So that has certainly made interest in Thrawn, taken it to an entirely new level.